This is the East Coast Economic Update for March the 2nd, 2009. Just wanted to make a quick video. A couple of people have emailed me in regard to asking me about doing an economic update and also talking about silver. I'm going to cover a little bit of silver, and I'm also going to touch some stuff that I think is relevant at this point after the Dow has now dipped way under 7,000 points. So here I go. First of all, I want to point out an article that I'm going to have over here about China stocks advancing today because Wen, who's the finance minister, pointed out that the country is starting to recover. China is starting to recover from the recession after it gave us its own stimulus package. I want to point out also that this is part of the theory that I have, and this is what is commonly known as decoupling. China has, 1.6 billion people. We have, the United States of America has about 307 million people. Part of the decoupling issue, which is part of my theory of why the dollar is going to probably collapse and our treasuries are going to invert, as I've mentioned in a number of videos, is because China is going to start selling its products to its people. I think this is happening now. The indication is that this is where China is going. One of the flexibilities that China has that we had during the Great Depression in 1930 is it has a huge infrastructure thanks to buying up, dismantling, shipping over, and reassembling all our infrastructure, all our manufacturing ability is going to be over there. One of the things that I've been reading in the Rothbard book, The Great Depression, was that our capacity to produce stuff is what got us out of the Great Depression. This is happening in China, except China now has the largest population in the world in one country, 1.6 billion people. So all those t-shirts and sneakers that we were buying from China, and we were so proud of ourselves saying they can't live without us because without us they can't produce anything to anybody. Well, unfortunately, as I predicted, not on this video, but I was having conversations with other people saying, listen, it's only a matter of time before the Chinese government looks around and says, hey, we have all this productive capacity, and we could sell t-shirts for $1 a piece to our own people, and they'll buy them. They've already gotten a taste. They have a 50% savings rate, and they have a taste of middle class-dom, if there's a lack of a better term. So this is not going to happen overnight, but it's starting to happen. And I say, and this is the reason why why my prediction for the dollar collapse is probably going to happen probably in June or July, is because by spring, all that capacity that we are not consuming will start to be absorbed into the Chinese people. Chinese people will start to buy their own stuff. That's what we did. That's what caused the 1950s revolution, the baby booming. It wasn't the capacity to produce more people. It was the fact that people came back from World War II and started to build houses and had a 50% savings rate, because we did. And that whole American dream, quote unquote American dream, is now going to be the Chinese dream. They're going to start to build houses. They're going to start building power plants. They're going to start using their own, they have a coal-based business, they have an oil-based business, and all they have to do is to go to the other large saving group that's based in productive capacity, which is Russia, and join hands. And they will become the new superpower. They are becoming the new superpower now. And exactly what happened in the 50s with the French and the Brits and the Suez Canal issue, when we threatened to dump their debt on the open market, they dummied up and did exactly what we told them to do. It's going to happen to us. It's already happened. Then Senator, now Secretary of State Clinton, Amnesty International was agog when she said, "Oh yes, we know about their human rights abuses, but we've already told them that." No, what she's telling people is, we can't say anything. We have nothing to say. So that's one. That's part of my theory. By spring, capacity for production is going to happen within the Chinese government and inside the country of China, and they're going to start doing trade with countries that can afford, because they have money, like India, Pakistan, Russia, and those countries are going to trade with one another, and they're going to make a big circle around themselves, and they're going to give us the finger, which I'm not going to do, on this video. But they're going to give us the economic finger, and that's when they decide, we don't need to buy shares from them. We don't need the United States, and that decoupling is going to happen. So that video is going to, the article is going to be there. In other news, also, I've been trying to buy silver. My family has decided to cash in all our 401ks, because at this point, we are now way past. We're now at 55% from its peaks. Just keeping our money in in the muni funds is just not worth it. So we're going to try to, but it's been absolutely impossible to buy silver. Forget about gold. It's been utterly impossible to buy silver, and even the Perth Mint is not producing any more silver. And you can get a coin or two, but we can't buy large racks of silver. It's just impossible. So that's that as far as the silver. Try to buy it as much as you can. I've been unable to really get substantial amounts since July of last year. So that's that. And then finally, the issue with the inversion. Right now, you see the dollar is rallying. The 30-year is slightly rising. The price is going up because people are not putting their money in long-term bonds. And the 10-year is dropping. The 10 and the 2-year is dropping. This is going to stop probably. My prediction is by May, June, because the Chinese are the ones that are pulling their money out, whatever little money that they have. I don't think they're actually in the stock market at all, and the bond market, forget about it. They're appeasing the United States long enough for them to get their footing, and then they're going to just walk away, and they are walking away. But they're just keeping, Hillary and Barack happy. One other thing I would like to also, something that I had a conversation with my business partner. We were talking about the stock market, and we noticed that there's a historical precedence that I think that you would appreciate. In every case, the Great Depression, 1982, 1974, 1982, and 1987. 1987. All three of these situations, when the stock market crashed, it dropped its worth by 80%. So for giggles, I was trying to figure out what was 80% of the high, which is 14,165, I think. And the number came up 2,833 and change. Basically 2,833. And I talked about the golden bottom, and I said I wouldn't know exactly what it was going to be, but it was going to equal an ounce of gold. Now, an ounce of gold has now matched and surpassed the S&P. It's now at 900. S&P is at 700. So it's over by 200. So it's now slowly reaching the S&P and now heading for the NASDAQ. So is it going to be around 2,833? Maybe. It's totally feasible. So just something to let you think about. So let's keep an eye. Like I said, don't worry about the stock market. Keep your eye on that treasury. That's when you really, the treasury and gold and silver. So until next time, folks, peace.